Right now at noon, the possibility of a multi-million-dollar solar farm in southeast Kansas.
Clouds will be increasing as we head into the afternoon, and we're watching those storm chances this weekend. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, that weather could impact Saturday's Maple Leaf Festival parade in Carthage.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, this is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Crawford County commissioners hold the key to a $500 million solar farm project near Mulberry. This comes after the Mulberry City Council approves a request to annex more than 1,600 acres into the city. It would be what they're calling an island annexation located about 6 miles southwest of Mulberry, just east of US 69. The Mulberry City Clerk tells us the property owners are already leasing the land to Shasta Power. The company plans to invest about $500 million into the project, including $200 million in storage batteries. Melissa Rhodes represents the handful of landowners involved. Now, it could be a win for Mulberry if the annexation is approved. Rhodes says they could see tax revenue from Shasta starting as early as January 1st. Rhodes also says by state law, the county commissioners have only 3 questions to consider when the item is on their agenda. 1, have landowners asked to be annexed? 2, have they consented? And 3, will annexation impede future development for that area? According to the Mulberry City Clerk, once the county receives the proposal, the county commission has 30 days to act. The city hopes to mail that proposal by the end of the week. And authorities have officially charged Montana Landsaw of Joplin in connection with the gunfire incident this week. It happened around 9:30 Monday night at the Hillside Estates in Newton County. Officers responded to reports of gunshots at that location. They discovered there had been a disturbance between multiple people at one of the homes. According to the report, Landsaw drew a handgun and fired several shots towards other people. He then ran to another home but surrendered 2 hours later to authorities. No one was injured. Landsaw is now facing multiple charges, including felony unlawful use of a weapon. Let's take it on over now to Chris Warner for First Weather.
Yeah, we had a pretty decent start to the day out there. We had clear skies continuing, but as we head further into the afternoon, the next couple hours or so, clouds will really begin to increase, eventually going mostly cloudy. This is a look from earlier this morning from downtown Pittsburgh, and a look from earlier this morning as well from 20th and Range Line in Joplin. The MoDOT camera located there looking pretty good. Yesterday started at 61. Well above where we should be, and our high, just the reverse of what our average low is, 84, only 4 degrees shy of a record high set back in 1950. That's what I'm saying. We've been pretty close. We've been flirting with record highs really since the beginning of October. We just haven't really reached that point just yet. All right. Average high again, 71. Nowhere near that the last few days. Not quite near it heading forward. But once we get past Saturday, oh boy, it's going to at least briefly feel like fall. Mostly cloudy again through the evening. Mid-70s by 7, upper 60s by 11 o'clock. Temperatures not moving much under that cloud cover tonight, so pretty mild overnight lows. Then we have our storm chances starting tomorrow night into Saturday. We're going to break down those details for you in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, thousands of people are looking to Saturday morning's forecast and how it might impact what is historically the largest parade in the 4 states. The annual Maple Leaf Festival parade in Carthage typically draws tens of thousands of spectators. Carthage Chamber of Commerce President Julie Reams tells us the parade will proceed starting at 9 a.m. Saturday, rain or shine. She says lightning or severe weather could force a postponement, but light to moderate rain would not. Reams says organizers are keeping in close contact with meteorologists as the parade approaches. And an organization known for its agricultural skills looks to plant the seeds for the next generation of farmers. As KOAM's Kenny Foreman shows us, Carl Junction FFA sets the table on Food for America Day for some young students.
Carl Junction FFA President Miles Massey will tell you sometimes the classroom just isn't enough.
You'll get facts, you'll get numbers, you'll get everything but a hands-on experience. A hands-on experience will allow you to actually see into the agricultural industry and how it actually affects everything.
That's why he and his fellow program members decided to give a group of third graders a taste of what the real world is like in agriculture.
I think it's important to educate third graders on how their food goes, how it becomes what it does, how farmers get it from their farm to them as students, and also just to open up the opportunity of like there are jobs in the agricultural world.
Of course, at one point, the high schoolers themselves were in the third graders' shoes. Having that perspective allows them to better connect with the younger students in hopes of inspiring them to want to learn more about agriculture as they get older.
This is one of the main things that sparked my love for agriculture today. So if they look to me as a role model, let's say, I feel like one of these kids will be in my position whenever they hit high school.
It's a unique experience that can stick with the kids for life.
This aspect of teaching agriculture to the students brings something that no other program does. It brings us together, it gives them connections, it gives them opportunities. Like with our school farm, they have opportunities to have animals that they could never have in town.
In Carl Junction, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Coming up, the state of Kansas could soon face a redistricting battle. And later, we're making very ritzy Italian chicken in the Mr. Food test kitchen. While redistricting is a state's congressional map is typically done during a census year, some states like Missouri have passed new maps that some say favor one political party over another. As Chandler Watkins reports, Kansas may become the next state in that battle.
I don't think this redistricting is fair. We are not in a census year. They just did it in 2022. They're not doing it to help voters or citizens of Kansas. They're doing it to accrue more power for themselves, and I'm totally against that.
When asked about redrawing the map, Kansas Senate President Ty Masterson said in part, quote, "Our aim is to simply strengthen Kansas's Republican representation in Congress to back President Trump's agenda." The concern for those tonight was Republicans were looking to redraw a blue Johnson County.
I want them to know that we are not for this and that we want to keep the district the way it is now.
It's very disappointing. I feel like our government works best when it's fair and when people are electing their representatives, not when representatives are choosing their people.
There were several organizations set up at this event, like the Voters' Rights Network of Wyandotte County, where attendees could sign up and stay informed with not only what's happening at the state level, but what's happening in their communities. Mary Von Beekler, who attended, leads a group of those looking to get involved and encourages others to do the same.
If you can become aware and pass it on to your neighbor and help them, there are also people who want to help but they don't know what to do. And so if you can be advised and then take it to somebody else, that's the best thing.
And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Today, we're putting on the Ritz with a restaurant-style dish that will impress everyone. Everyone.
And we are tracking thunderstorm chances heading into Friday night and Saturday. Some of those could be strong to severe. The latest on that right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon on what started out to be a pretty clear sunny day. Again, still quite warm across the area, but clouds beginning to increase this afternoon. Again, a look from earlier this morning downtown Pittsburgh. Didn't look too bad. Clear skies, just some patchy fog here and there, nothing too wild. But clouds will continue to increase over the next couple of hours, and you can see them on Future Track. And they move in pretty quickly. So, you go from partly cloudy to mostly cloudy in a number of areas pretty fast. Up north might be a little bit later before all the clouds get up there, but will be mostly cloudy through the evening and overnight. Future Track hinting at maybe a sprinkle or two, and that's not out of the realm of possibility, but any rain chances prior to our thunderstorm chances tomorrow night are very low. But a sprinkle or two, not out of the question tomorrow early morning. Then, believe it or not, we'll actually clear out as we head into the late afternoon, early evening hours. But because sunset's so early, if this was spring or summer where we have a little more daylight here, then we'd be able to bring in more instability, more energy for the storms. But it's not. The sun will set pretty quickly, and therefore we don't get as much instability. So that's why we've been talking. What we're expecting tomorrow night and Saturday is not a severe weather outbreak, nor are we expecting significant severe weather. The issue is the timing. First off, it's fall. Now, we can have severe weather anytime in the 4 states, but it's fall. And it's also, again, with the Maple Leaf Parade on Saturday. And not just that, but corn mazes, pumpkin patches, any number of fall events taking place. It's just rare for us to have to worry about severe weather for these types of events. And that's why we're watching very closely. And I know Carthage is watching very closely as well, because it's rained on the Maple Leaf before. No big deal. You just tough it out. But if we get thunderstorms and the potential for strong to low grade severe storms pushing through during the parade, that's why we have an issue. So ahead of it, 10 o'clock, scattered showers, few storms starting to work into our northern counties. It'll be after midnight and we get a batch of showers and storms, some of which could be strong to severe. Say Burlington, Yates Center, Fredonia, Howard, Eureka. That batch pushes off to the east pretty quickly. And by Saturday at 5 a.m., that first batch along and east of I-49, so Nevada, Lamar, Jasper, east of Joplin, east of Carthage, back towards Stockton. That's where that first one is. Still could be strong, low grade, severe, but this second batch begins working in right behind it. So now back to Burlington, Yates Center, Fredonia, Howard, Sedan, Eureka, Coffeyville, Independence, Parsons. More showers, more storms, and some of those could be strong to severe. By the time we get to 6, we've got a mess of storms, but even with that mess, some of them could still be strong to low grade, severe. And I know, at least with Maple Leaf, a lot of folks head up there pretty early. You get your parking spot, get your seating spot. You're going to have to be cautious because these storms are going to be ongoing. By the time the parade gets going, we've got another round of strong to low grade severe storms possible to push through as the parade starts. So that's going to be the other issue. And the biggest concern we have with these storms, while large hail is a possibility, damaging winds seem more likely. Now, we're not talking 80, 90 mile an hour winds by any means, but we're still talking 60, 70 mile an hour winds possible with some of these stronger storms. So if you're out there on the parade route, or if you're a vendor on the square with a tent or a small food truck, it may not agree with those winds. So you've got to be weather aware. You've got to pay very close attention and make sure you've got a shelter nearby just in case. And even if the storm doesn't become severe, if there's lightning, when thunder roars, head indoors. By 10, there might even be a brief pause in the rain in Carthage, but another round of strong, low-grade, severe storms out there. So Nevada, Galena, Riverton, back southeast of Miami into Delaware County, Neosho, Monette, Mount Vernon, Cassville. Don't want to leave anybody out. I know we've talked a lot about Carthage. It's 40 to 50,000 people expected in Carthage. That's 40 to 50,000 people outdoors during the potential for strong to low-grade, severe thunderstorms. So that's why we're putting that emphasis there. But you don't want to be outdoors anywhere in the 4 states during these storms by any means. By noon, that's it. They're done. It's breezy. It's still warm because the front itself isn't even here yet. We clear out, gusty south winds, very warm temperatures again, around 80 or so, depending on how much clearing you can get. But then the front approaches, and by 7, right along I-44 and just continue it northeast up towards Stockton. Doesn't look impressive. Future Tracks had a hard time with it, but along that front, another line of storms is expected to develop. So here's what we're looking at. We're looking at the storms possibly developing very quickly, intensifying pretty quickly, so we could get strong to severe storms with this. But as the front races through, they'll exit very quickly as well. So the severe threat would be limited in time, but it could still be there with isolated storms. And then that severe threat actually picks up off to our east, where that line is expected to expand and intensify. So tomorrow night from 10 p.m. to about 7 a.m. Saturday, we have a level 1 out of 5 risk for the hail and wind. Same risk levels. They're on the low end of the spectrum here, but they are there. And again, the greater concern or discussion has just been about more likely scenario for wind gusts out there. With hail still a possibility, but it looks more like it might be a wind event. And again, not 80, 90 mile an hour winds, but 60, 70 mile an hour winds, still not fun to be out in. As for Saturday, we still have that level 1 and level 2 out of 5 risk. And again, this is more so associated with that line. And you saw by 7 o'clock where that front was and where that line was. So this kind of lines up right with that. And then it pushes out of our area very quickly. So we'll just be looking to that. All right, rest of today though, low mid 80s, clouds increasing through the afternoon, south breeze 5 to 10, mostly cloudy overnight. The cloud layer keeps the warm air in, so we're mild, mid upper 60s, southeast winds 5 to 10. Ahead of the storms tomorrow, partly cloudy, low mid 80s, breezy, south winds gusting to 25. And then of course on Saturday, we'll have those thunderstorm chances. We'll go about 80, but that front, talk about the power of that front. Look at that, upper 40s Saturday night, low 70s Sunday, our most seasonable day so far. Storm chances Monday, Tuesday, and warmer toward the end of next week. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll stick around. We're making very ritzy Italian chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Howard is making very ritzy Italian chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
We've all got our favorite go-to recipes. You know, the ones we turn to when we've got friends and family coming over. Well, today I'm sharing one of the Test Kitchen's favorites that is dressed to impress, but simple enough to make any night of the week. Here's what we do. We saute lightly breaded chicken breast in a touch of oil until they're golden and cooked through. Then we top each with a slice of mozzarella cheese, and while the cheese melts, we'll make a sauce to take this over the top. For that, all we do is heat some heavy cream with some Parmesan cheese, some chopped roasted red pepper, a little fresh parsley, and some salt and pepper. We give that a stir and let it cook until it just starts to thicken up. Now, we like to serve the chicken over a bed of spinach fettuccine with the creamy sauce drizzled over it. Maybe top it off with more roasted peppers for a fancy restaurant look. Any way you serve this very ritzy Italian chicken, your gang is going to feel like you pulled out all the stops. As always, the recipe's online. It's fancy enough for company, yet so easy that you don't have to wait for company in order to make it. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for an easier way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
Right, again today, low mid 80s, increasing clouds out there. Partly cloudy, mid 80s on our Friday, breezy, and then shower and thunderstorm chances building in late after 10. Some of those could be strong to low grade severe. You want to make sure for Maple Leaf Parade and Maple Leaf festivities, you're keeping an eye out, or anything you're doing this weekend, especially in the morning. Strong low grade severe storms possible. Another round possible late Saturday evening. Seasonably cool Saturday night into Sunday. More storms Monday, Tuesday.
All right, certainly a lot to keep an eye on for the weekend.
You bet.
All right, David, for us later on.
Well, lots coming up at 5. For starters, America's protein obsession is going strong. According to one report, 61% of consumers increased their protein intake last year. We're going to take a look at how brands are shifting gears to meet consumer needs. Plus, professionals in the 4 states walk in the shoes of someone living in poverty during the Rethinking Poverty simulation in Joplin. And Freeman Health System expands its oncology services. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's all coming up today. KOAM News at 5.
All right, Del, thanks. And of course, for those of you who might not know, today is my last day here at KOAM, and my last broadcast. So thank you so much for allowing me into your home over the past 2 years. It's been an absolute honor and a privilege, and the pleasure has been all mine.
Certainly brought a lot to the TV station. We are going to miss you and certainly wish you well.
Dal, thank you so much. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.